Hey guys, fishing and stuff. Today we're gonna find out which peg float is the best. So stick around. Today we're doing a peg float comparison. Number one, we want to see what they look like under the water, because that's important. Number two, we want to see how buoyant they are. It's still up. Because the buoyancy of peg floats is important in more than one way. For one, it's important because it determines how big of a piece of bait you can put on the hook. And two, it matters because if your peg float's really buoyant, then it's going to take more weight to hold it down on the bottom. So we're doing a little experiment, and I love an experiment. And we're about to see what's what with peg floats. On today's video, we're talking about every different kind of float that you can get to use for fishing. There's slip bobber floats. Here's a little tiny slip bobber float. Ain't it cute? This is a Walmart brand slip bobber float. These floats here are typically used for panfish, and they have a spring on the bottom that you can put on your line that holds it on. Here's a smaller version of the same thing. You got little baby peg floats, and you got little baby peg floats with lead on them that'll clip right onto your line. Just pull that down right there, you see. They've even got little bitty tiny floats. I ain't sure what you use them for actually. And they got big giant styrofoam floats that you can use to hold your bait up off the bottom. But the kind of floats we're using on today's video is for a Santee rig. A Santee rig's a lot like fishing topwater floats in the fact that it holds your bait up off the bottom. But it's kind of done in reverse because your lead touches the bottom of the lake, but the float holds your bait up off of it so your hook doesn't get caught in everything. This type fishing was started by steelhead fishermen, where they basically had to have slinky weights. Some people call them slinky weights. Some people call them no snag weights. Well, the only way you can get that rig to work is with a peg float. And that's what we're going over today. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I did a video about demon dragons, and I basically showed how you could make your own demon dragon. It was on the hack video I just put out. Basically, demon dragons are nothing but a spook. And a spook's a topwater lure that bass fishermen and striper fishermen use. If you cut the hooks off this thing, it's basically a demon dragon. But it's basically bigger than a demon dragon because this is a 5-inch spook. And this is a 4-inch demon dragon. On that hack video I did, I showed you how you can make your own demon dragons by buying these unfinished lures off of Amazon, and it was pretty cool. So first things first, I want to show you what a demon dragon looks like under the water with real bait on it. Next, I'm going to take one of these knockoff demon dragons. I'm going to show you what it looks like under the water with real bait on it. Now remember on the video I said if I painted mine, I'd either leave them clear or just paint them black. Because these bright colors don't attract the fish. It attracts the fishermen. Where the bright colors come from was because originally peg floats were used for Santee rigs. Well, peg floats come in really bright colors because they were originally designed to float on top of the water, just like the floats I showed you at the beginning of the video. So these are just bright colors so you can see when a fish is hitting them. But the bright colors are unnecessary for attracting fish. So I got my black demon dragon that I painted, and I'm gonna show you what it looked like under the water too. And for all you bass fishermen out there that wants to paint your own lures, or you guys that just want to save a little money and make your own demon dragons, I'll put a link to these in the description box if they didn't sell out after the last video. And I need to add that the knockoff demon dragon is a little bit smaller than the demon dragon. That's the original demon dragon, but they do make a small demon dragon too. So next up are the peg floats. And peg floats are really buoyant, and they come in every different size. These are 3-inch cigar shaped peg floats, which I like. But a lot of people use the 2.5 inch cigar peg floats. If you want to anchor fish without it or troll with it, you can slip this on and off your line. You see that little groove in there? You can take any old plain leader and you can pop one of these on. The only thing is you got to put a peg on both sides when you use these floats, or it won't stay on your leader right. Now, all the rest of the peg floats have to be put on while you're tying your leader. That includes the 3-inch peg float. There's no slit in it. And I'll show you what it looks like under the water. Now, this float here is a 2-inch oval float. Personally, I call them 2-inch football floats. And they're pretty dang buoyant under the water. And I'll show you what one of these look like. Look, people, most people cannot handle the way I fish. I told you before, I use a man-size hook because I catch big fish. And if you use a man-size hook, then you're going to need a man-size peg float. I'm just saying. These floats right here are 2.5 inch football floats, and I actually ordered the wrong floats. Online, it showed a picture of a peg float. But if you read the description box, it said that it was a clip-on float, but I didn't see that. And I ordered them thinking I was getting peg floats, and then they came and... I believe these birds are out to get me. Well, I figured out a way to overcome that, so if you got a pair of dikes, all you gotta do is you take this peg float. See how the end's made? You just take your dikes and you clip off the end, pull the spring and everything out of it. Then you grab it with the dikes, pull that side off, reach around to the other side and pull it out. Well, when you're done, you're left with a regular old peg float. And all you gotta do is put a peg in one end. And it works just the same as it would if you had ordered it the right way. And now I'll show you what these look like under the water. Every time I make a video here, it turns out awesome.
Hey, I done told you to stay out of my pool.
I gotta go.
Riley, Kill, get your tail back here.
Now that we've looked at every size and kind of peg float that they make, and we've seen what they all look like under the water, next we're going to see how buoyant each one is by putting weight on it and putting it in the water. Hey guys, if you've not been on my channel page, go over there and check it out. Because I got a long list of DIYs that'll help you save some money if that's your thing. And if it is your thing, don't forget to click subscribe. Oh yeah, and ring the bell. Okay, so I got me a piece of string. I got me some weights. These weights are 1/4 ounce. I got me some floats, and I got my aquarium ready. We're gonna add one weight at a time. I'm gonna put it on each one of these and see if it can hold up. Then I'm gonna keep adding weight until it can't hold no more. And we're gonna see which one the heavyweight champion is. Okay, first up is the 2.5 inch styrofoam peg float. And of course, no problem. Next, we're using the 3.5 inch knockoff Demon Dragon. We're gonna see how it does. And of course, no problem. Now, instead of going through the rest of them, we're just gonna add some more weight because they both seem to hold it fine. And these are the smallest two of each kind. Okay, so now I got a 1/2 ounce lead on here. And I'm starting with the 2.5 inch styrofoam peg float. We're gonna see how that does. And it's still holding strong. It might hold one more, I don't know. Okay, I got the Demon Dragon tied back on with the 1/2 ounce of lead. We're gonna see how that does. Whoa. It only made it to a 1/2 ounce. So the small Demon Dragon can only hold between 1/4 and a 1/2 ounce of weight. But you seen in the pool, it could still float big baits. It's just this lead test is telling us exactly how much weight it can float. Lead is not buoyant, bait is. That's the difference. Okay, so the little Demon Dragon is out of the competition. Now I got the big Demon Dragon tied on because it should hold more bait than the little one, and I need to find out first. You know what? I just noticed this is a Slunger Cat edition. This is a Chris Souders Demon Dragon. Pretty cool. I must not be famous because I ain't got no demon dragon, but I do got a balsa demon dragon, and we're gonna throw this into the competition now, just cause this is my video. Anyway, let's do the big demon dragon and see what happens. It's barely touching, like the strings holding it up off the bottom. That's its max. So both of the demon dragons done fell to the weight. Another demon dragon bites the dust and is out of the competition. Now we're getting ready to add a third sinker. Okay, so I got a third weight added to the 2.5 inch cigar peg float. We're gonna see if it can hold it up. Yeah, it didn't quite make it. Okay, we got a 3 inch peg float on. We're gonna see if it can hold up 3/4 of an ounce. It sure does. It holds up 3 of them. Okay, we got our balsa wood FishinNstuff demon dragon, and we're gonna see if it can hold 3 lids up, which is 3/4 of an ounce. Woohoo! That's right, FishinNstuff demon dragon's kicking butt, but it's kind of low, so I don't think it's gonna hold no more than that. Next, we're gonna try the 2 inch football float, or at least that's what I call it. That thing ain't even struggling. Next, we're gonna go ahead and add more weight because I know this 2.5 inch football float is gonna hold more than that. Okay, we got 4 sinkers on, which comes out to an ounce. Tied it on the FishinNstuff demon dragon. Let's see what happens. Yeah, she's out, but she still beat the demon dragon, so I guess that's good. So the FishinNstuff demon dragon is officially retired. Now we got the 2 inch football floats tied on to 1 ounce of weight. And she is still in the competition. Now we got the 2.5 inch cigar float. Oh, and it makes it. Okay, so now we got 5 1/4 ounce weights tied to our 2.5 inch cigar float. Yeah, he gone. Next, we got our 2 inch football float. Oh, and it holds 5. Now we got the 6 tied on to the 2 inch football. Yeah, she gone. Okay, 7 weights, which is 1 3/4 ounce. Let's see. 7 weights, that's pretty impressive. Here we go. 8 weights, 2 whole ounces. That thing is holding up 2 ounces. You know what I just found out? I just found out I ain't making my slinky weights heavy enough. That's usually what they weigh, 2 ounces. Just by chance, if you're wondering what slinky weights are, I've got several videos on making slinky weights. There's all kinds of ways to make slinky weights. So I think I'm gonna have to increase the size of my slinky weight if I run these kind of floats right here. Okay, this is 2 1/4 ounces. Oh my goodness. 10 1/4 ounce weights, which is 2.5 ounces of weight. And people, it's still up. Can you believe that? It's still up. 11, that's 2 3/4 ounces. It finally went down with 2 3/4 ounces. See, that's why I run these tests, because I just found out that you better have at least a 3 ounce dragon weight if you want to run these kind of floats. And I probably never would have thought of it if I didn't run the test. So here's the results. Both demon dragons held up 1/4 ounce. A 1/2 ounce sunk it. The 2.5 inch cigar peg float held up a 1/2 ounce, 3/4 of an ounce sunk it. The FishinNstuff balsa wood demon dragon held up 3/4 of an ounce, 1 ounce sunk it. The 2.5 inch foam cigar peg float held up 1 ounce of weight, 1 1/4 ounces sunk it. The football peg float held up 1 1/4 ounces, 1 1/2 ounces sunk it. And the grand champion was the 2.5 inch football peg float. This thing held up 10 1/4 ounce weights. Took 2 3/4 ounces to sink it. Well, this video actually taught me a lot about peg floats that I thought I knew and didn't know. It's actually kind of cool if you think about it. I love a good experiment. For you guys that's been asking about the hats, I finally got them in. And I got the boxes to ship them with, so they're ready to go. And for any other FishinNstuff gear you need, shirts, stickers, whatever, all you gotta do is go down below the video into the description box and there'll be a link. And it looks like this. If you click on it It'll take you right where you need to go to get that stuff. Don't forget to click subscribe.
Click subscribe, people. What you waiting on? What you waiting on?
And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next build.